I got to teach you how to be successful in the winter. I got to teach you how to be successful in the spring. Like, I have to teach you to be successful in all 4 seasons. And most of you, when you take the shortcut, it only allows you to be successful if everything is going your way. If all the stars are lining up. If everybody like you and love you. Everything got to work. And unfortunately, it does not work like that.
Bam! I'm Jayson Waller with the True Underdog Podcast. And for all those listeners out there, those underdogs, those ones that overcome obstacles and kick it in the teeth and continue to move on, I have got the OG of underdogs, the OG of overcoming adversity, one of my all-time hero speakers that motivates and inspires me every day, Mr. E.T., the hip-hop preacher of motivation, right? Eric Thomas, baby. How you doing?
Oh, man, this is a phenomenal time to be alive. You know, this is where I just kind of believe the last couple of years has been the season of underdogs. Like,
I agree.
You know, like you talk about not, you know, 1 or 2 people or groups of people, you know, having to deal with adversity. Bro, you're talking about the whole world had to deal with adversity. And so the underdogs, this is where we thrive, though. This is where the underdog, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they fall by the wayside during this time frame. This home court advantage for us. This is home court advantage for us.
I agree. You're a hard grinder. Like, you always talk about putting the work in, right? And you know, no excuses. And I've never really done a lot of podcasts or speaking several years ago. It started a couple years ago, but you're one of those influencers that I would listen to. And a lot of people like, you got to listen to this. I'm like, I need it raw. I need it real. I need it right to the face. I need someone to make me feel like I got to get off my ass and do something. And that's what you're able to do. Like, you inspire people with that energy and that passion that people lack.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. You know, there are people who, is that the loud guy? Is that the guy that's screaming and hollering? Listen to me very closely. You gotta be wired differently to live in this country with the opportunities that we have and not go get it, bro. You gotta be wired differently, that you're not in a third world country where it doesn't matter how early you get up, what time you go to bed. The resources just don't exist. Bro, something got to be wrong with you if you're not willing to get up and go after it, to do whatever it is you want to do, bro. And I'm not suggesting that they're not obstacles. I'm not suggesting they're not people who are, you know, who feel like their job is to stop you. But here's what I tell people all the time. Like, let's just be real. When's the last time you watched a basketball game and there wasn't no defense? When's the last time you watched football and there wasn't no defense? When's the last time you watched football and there wasn't nobody trying to sack the quarterback? Like, that's a part of it. The defense, the fact that people are not just open, but they got to fight to get open. That's a part of why we like to watch sports. The competitiveness, that we give them 5 fouls. If depending on what sport, we give you 6 fouls. In hockey, we let you go at it. You know what I'm saying? Like in baseball, they clear the mound, bro. They clear the bench.
That's my favorite part, when they clear the mound.
They clear it, baby. They come out. And so in boxing, you got 2 dudes, you know. UFC is 2 people going at it, trying to break each other's will. You know, so at the end of the day, bro, this is where underdogs are made. This is where everything that comes up against us, we made up in our mind. You may break us physically, but you will not break our will. You know, and if you break us physically, we'll heal. But if we're not broken in terms of our will, we're gonna keep growing. And here's the deal: if your will get broken, you broke. Like, I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how tall, how gifted, how talented. They break your will, you broke. And so, man, this is the season for those of us who will not let our wills be broken, who will not let our dreams and goals die. You know, so for me, man, I just tell people, yo, you benefit from being mentally strong. You benefit from being mentally tough. Now, there are some advantages to being phenomenally skilled, but I believe there's more advantages to people who are phenomenally willed, because life is going to happen. But like you said, it kick you in your teeth, you kick it back in its teeth. It punch you in your face, you punch it back in the face. I promise you, at some point, life going to stop, and life is going to let you in. Life is going, I got this sign in the back. They say winners win. You feel me? Winners win.
Yeah, I feel you, baby. And you're right that too many times, and I want to get into because some listeners might know who you are. Shame on them that they don't, right? Because to me, you're one of the all-time greats. But shame on them that they don't. And I want to get into some of your history. But while we're hot on this moment, it is the problem we have in today's society is people aren't putting in the effort. They get that crutch, they get that excuse, they get that pass to not do that. And you know, I look at my son as an example. Like, dude, I'm 5'10" if I'm lucky, right? 220. I'm not physically gifted, tall, fast, strong. Neither's my son. But he's the hardest working kid on the football field. He studies film and he's 12. He goes out there and outgrinds and outworks everybody and tells the coach, I want to earn my spot, and puts in all the effort, right? And he watches things like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, these people, Kobe Bryant, you know, he pays attention to these kind of athletes and superstars out there that, yes, they have talent, but Michael Jordan, we all know the story. He didn't even make his middle school team, right? He had to put in work to get that great. Tom Brady does not have all the physical gifts. He puts in that work and that will to do it. And too many times, especially in today's life and today's generation, they're just making excuses and pointing the finger and just taking the easy way out, man.
You know, and, you know, again, I don't know if it's social media, you know, but I do know that the rewards, you know, the outcomes are what's highlighted. You know, the outcomes are what, you know, people are seeing. People in boats, you know, people going on these cruises and people going to these destinations, you know, these luxury destinations, people, you know, cars, right? So what I'm finding is because people are making that the focus, that's what a lot of our young people are starting to believe is the focus. But let me tell you something. Here's what I teach people. Teach me the process. Yeah. Teach me what it takes. Why? Because now that I know what it takes, you can't take it from me. Like, I know what it takes now. So the reality is, if I lost it all, house burnt down, you know, everything was taken in the stock market, whatever, bro, I can go build it tomorrow. Why? Because I know how I built it. You take a shortcut and somebody hands you something or give you something. Once it's taken from you, you stuck because you don't know how to go back and get it. So we're not suggesting that you work hard because we want to make hard work the focus. We're not saying work hard, don't take shortcuts because we want to bring glory to the grind. Nobody, I'm not grinding to be grinded. I don't get up early in the morning to get up early. I get up early in the morning because I want to earn my freedom in this country. I want to be able to fly first class, economy, main, private jet. I want to go like I want to go. I want to stay in the Four Seasons. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay in the Ritz-Carlton if I want to. Shoot, I might stay in a Holiday Inn Express somewhere, but I want to stay there because I chose to, not because somebody made me. I want to buy the car, the Escalade. I want to get the Rolls Royce truck if I want to. I want to be able to I want to get up when I want to, go to bed when I want to. Like, I want to do what I want to do. So I don't teach grind because I want you to worship the grind. I don't teach grind because matter of fact, I would teach you to take the shortcut if the shortcut got you there. I would teach you that. I would teach you to take the shortcut. Take the easiest route. Don't make sense to take the hard route. Take the easiest route because both routes lead to success. They don't, and they won't. So I got to tell you the truth. You got to grind. You got to learn the process. You got to do it in the dark because you will have dark days. So if you only can do it in the light, then you're not going to be very successful because there's a winner in Detroit. I'm just being real. If you're from the D, you're probably getting three months at best of summer. Like, summer come quick and she gone.
Period. Sunshine, 3 months at best.
Bruh, at best. So if you need sunshine to be successful, you stuck. So, but I got to teach you how to be successful in the fall. During the fall. I got to teach you how to be successful in the winter. I got to teach you how to be successful in the spring. Like, I have to teach you to be successful in all 4 seasons. And most of you, when you take the shortcut, it only allows you to be successful if everything is going your way. If all the stars are lining up, if everybody like you and love you, if everything got to work. And unfortunately, it does not work like that. At very few times in your life will everything be working. But if you learn how to work it, it doesn't matter what the season is. If you learn how to work, you will work whatever season. And this is why we're telling you, stop looking at social media. Stop only looking at and the thing I love about social media is it only shows you one part of the struggle. So there are people like, man, you've been married 32 years. You and your wife are great. Yeah, but you don't get to see when we arguing. You don't see that on social media. You don't get to see when we have differences. You don't get to see that we're not Siamese twins. And so we don't think exactly alike. And you don't get to see when our personalities, are causing sparks. Like, you don't get to see that. You just get to see us when you took a picture of us at the restaurant and we in each other's face, or on the airport and we loving each other. That's the only time. You don't get to see the grind. You don't get to see us being teenagers and having to go to the grocery store and buy groceries every day because I was living off tips. You don't get to see that. You just get to see the number one motivated speaker in the world. He with the Rams. He with the Vikings. He doing corporate. He on TV. Like, bruh, it was way more days that I was. Listen to me. I was with the Rams the last time they were the St. Louis Rams. Bro, I only been with the Rams twice. Bro, I'm 51. You know how many days that is? So there are way more days when I'm Clark Kent than I am Superman. Right. But it is the Clark Kent that makes me Superman. And y'all want to go straight to Superman, and it just don't. I wish it worked like that. I do, but it just don't work like that.
No, very well said, E.T. Well said. I have this motto. I talked about it in my book too. Like, there's no elevator in life. You got to take the stairs. And it's kind of piggybacking what you're saying. What happens is people go up there and they look all the way up to 100 stories and they go, man, that's just too hard. I'm out. That's not for me. Yeah. And or they go a few flights and then they get discouraged and they forget that process you're talking about, that each step is building a foundation. It's strength. It's overcoming things. It's learning things and getting better. And that by the time you get up to that 100th floor, you're still looking to go another 100 floors up. Absolutely. And you're like, oh, I got here. Yeah. You don't get lost in that discouragement of that goal is so far away. That's why I kind of changed my goals to be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, so I can stay in that moment. Absolutely. And I learned that from our dude, Barry Sanders.
No question.
When I interviewed him a few years ago, I was like, how did you do, like, your success? You never really played football till high school. You were a corner. You became a running back. And he was like, Jayson, I had to stay in the moment. Yeah. I had to focus on that day, that game, those things, and stay in that process. So when I got there, I wasn't like, wow, because if I just looked at that, then everything would be a failure. Absolutely. And that's Barry, humble Barry, talking about that. And I was like, dude, that's gold right there.
Next level, bro. Next level. And again, it doesn't matter if it's Barry, if it's Mike, if it's Kobe, if it's Tom Brady, if it's Michael Phelps, if it's Serena Williams. Bruh, there are traits of the greats.
Yeah.
They're traits of the greats. And if we would embrace those traits and not take I don't know what the shortcut is, period. Personally, I don't know what it's like not to take the stairs, but I will say this. I want to speak to those of you. Remember, this is the Underdog podcast. Understand that. This is the You Didn't Have It All podcast when you started. This is Life Wasn't No Crystal Stair. This is the podcast where nobody gave you a grant and you didn't hit the lottery. This is the podcast where you earn yours. But what we're trying to tell you is you can earn it. You don't have to have it all, but you can earn your spot. And one of the things I learned from the greats is that 85 ain't enough. Bruh, somebody said to me the other day, they were so discouraged. They was like, why you beat me down? Why you talking to me like that? You supposed to be a motivator and an encourager. What are you doing? And I said, I would love to tell you that 85% is 100. It's not. And listen to me. It would be better for you to have done 0 than do 85. It would have been better not to take 85 steps. You took 85 steps. It would have been better for you not to take none. Why? Because when you got to the 85th step, you still not there. It's 100 stairs. If it says 200 miles to Chicago, you can't drive 183 and think you're going to be in Chicago. You're not. It takes 200 miles. Do the 200 miles. And so there's some of you haven't even started. Okay, I'm not mad at you, right? But there's some of you're frustrated. You're comparing yourselves. Woe is me. When am I ever going to get there? You're going to get there when you do the 200 steps. You're going to get there when you do the 200 miles. You're going to get there when you get to the 100%, when you complete it. You're going to get there when you do what you're supposed to do to get there. You're not going to get there because you wish to be there. You're not going to get there because you work real hard. You're not going to get there because you tried. You're not going to get there because you put forth effort. Both of my kids have finished Michigan State. Okay, but I used to tell people
I ain't mad at you, even though I'm a Michigan fan. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah. Well, my sister was the smart one. She went to Michigan. All right. I was the common sense smart one. So I went to Michigan State, you know, and I tell people this all the time. Neither one of my children's tuition got paid because I tried. I promise you, bruh, if you go to Michigan State University, it's called Student Info, the billing section. There is no box that says tried. Like, they don't have a box that said you could pay for your kids' tuition by trying. Try harder. They don't have one that says effort. They have one that say $50,000. They got, and I'm sorry, they do have options. Check.
Yeah.
They got options. A credit card, a debit card. They got options. But all of those options don't involve trying or putting forth effort. All of those involve $50,000. Now, here's a challenge. If you give them 40, they'll take your 40, but your child won't be able to get their transcript. So I just want everybody to understand, we here, right? Underdog Podcast. We're not trying to be mean. We're not trying to hurt you. We're not trying to discourage you. But we are here to do one thing: tell you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God, so you can do what? You can know what the traits of the greats are. What did Barry do? Average human. What did Mike do? Average human. Bruh, I didn't realize Kobe wasn't as gifted as I thought he was. I thought Kobe was gifted. Kobe tells his story, and it's just like, nah, I worked everybody. I just put in more hours and what is it called? Compound interest. I put in 3 hours more than you a day, times 7, times 30, times 365, times every off season, times practice, and I end up separating myself from you. So I thought all these guys were great. Come to find out, they weren't great. They just knew the traits of the greats, and they were obsessed with getting those traits and fulfilling those traits, and they're all where they are as a result. And even poor, my mom was 17 when I got pregnant. Even poor Eric, daddy wasn't in my life. Even poor Eric, I was homeless, living in abandoned buildings. No, nothing changed in my life because of poor Eric. Everything changed in my life when I started embracing those characteristics that of all the greats that we mentioned. And thanks to what you said, I have been able to put myself in the category of the greats, not because I cheated life or because I took shortcuts, but I just sat down and was like, you're going to have to do it the right way. You're going to have to do it the long way, the hard way. And so you might as well get started now, because you'll have a better chance of getting to that destination quicker if you just get started now.
Good stuff, Ian. And you know, you talked a little bit about your past for some of the listeners out there. What I love when you talk about your past is it's never an excuse, and you don't tell it to compare it to others. You tell it to, like, look, your father wasn't in there. Your mom lied to who your father was. You were homeless at 16. You were kicked out of school. You had all these things against you, and you didn't make excuses. You woke up, and then you did something about it. And when you're sharing that, that's telling people that, look, whatever your situation is, it is your God-given right, we just talked about it, to wake up and make your own map and do something about it, or sit there and whine and complain, right, E?
Yeah, and listen to me. It takes the same effort to whine and complain as it does to get up and go do something about it. But let me tell y'all a secret. The rewards are totally different. The rewards is you find yourself with a publishing deal on the Underdog Podcast, talking to hundreds of thousands of people, versus my mama wasn't, and you're talking to one person who also isn't doing nothing with their life, and y'all talking to each other and complaining, going absolutely nowhere, where you take the same effort and you go, I'm going to do something about it, and then you start surrounding yourself with, let me be honest with you guys, for those of you who had an opportunity to get on podcasts, bro, it's not even the podcast that's the blessing. It is the relationships that you establish because you were on a podcast, the people you meet in the circle of influences that you have once you start connecting with people. Like, bro, I'm going to be at this golf tournament. I don't even play golf. I'm going to be at a golf tournament. I don't even play golf. I don't even know how to hold a doggone golf club. But I love people. I love being around people. I love adding value to people. And I'm telling you, the same mouth that I used to complain is the same mouth I'm using now to kill a game. The same emotions I use to go feel sorry for me are the same emotions I'm using now to say, how can I support you? How can you support me? Where is the place of mutualism? So I'm saying to you guys, the same energy it takes to whine and cry and complain is the same energy it takes to go get it and go afterwards. But here's the separator: the rewards. Talking to the Vikings, the rewards. Talking to Ohio State University, the rewards. Talking to Michigan, the rewards. Talking to whatever teams in NFL and NBA, like the Yankees. Like, yo, that it feels so much better running my mouth and opening up doors than running my mouth and going to an abandoned building at night, crying and complaining and smelling like kerosene heaters, crying and complaining, but malnutrition because I'm not eating. Oh, it feels so much better to be in the Ritz-Carlton, so much better to be in the Four Seasons. So the effort is the same. The rewards are different. You can get with this or you can get with that.
That's it.
But making excuses ain't where it's at.
You were mentioning how you get to talk to these teams and you get to run your mouth and feel good about it. And as an influencer, as a speaker, Eric, and you go out, you're talking to these companies, explain the feeling. Because I talk about it a little bit, but you're at another level doing this. And like I said, you're one of my all-time favorites. So like if I'm having a bad day and I need to get my butt in gear, ET's coming on, right? I'm like, all right, I got to wake up, right? I'm positive anyways, and I can usually stay awoke, but all of us are human. We get in our funk, right? We just need that boost. Talk about how it feels when you go into those rooms and you talk to those players or those employees or people that you know, the feeling you get when you make a difference in someone's life. Talk about that.
I'll say, let me say this one first. So when I did the Rams, of course, Stafford played for Detroit. Right. And so I had an opportunity to speak to the team when he was in Detroit. And I had an opportunity to speak, the other day. So what happened is I went and I represented Stafford. Me and my wife had a Stafford Rams jersey. Right. So we taking all these pics. We brought about 20 kids to the Super Bowl from the urban community, gave them an opportunity to get exposed to greatness. And when I put that picture up, Stafford was like, whoa. So I said to him afterwards, man, I got to get another pic. But this time, I want to get a pic with us, and I want to send it to my mom.
Yeah.
And I want my mom to see that the mistakes I made when I was a teenager, I do apologize for making those mistakes and bringing dishonor to our family. But look at me now, Ma. Everything you did, not having an abortion, everything you did, going to school, finishing high school, even though you were pregnant with me, leaving home and saying to my grandmother, I will not be on welfare. So my grandma said, you got to go. My mother was homeless. It's just a way for me to say, thank you, Ma, for not giving up on you. Thank you for not giving up on me. And thank you for taking advantage of the opportunities that were out there. Maybe those opportunities didn't come knocking on your door, but you worked hard to go get those opportunities. And you put me in a very good position to do what I'm doing now. Man, it feels so good. People talk about the money. They talk about, no, man, taking pictures and sending it to mama. Taking pictures and saying, look, Ma, look what I'm doing, to be able to take my family to a game, to be able to be on the field, for my son to go, wow, my dad is making it happen, for my daughter to go, man, my dad is making it happen, for kids in Detroit to go, yo, he's from Detroit, Henry Ford, he's from Detroit. He been on Finkel, he was on Wyoming, he grew up on 8 Mile. To read the book and to hear he's from where I'm from. He didn't have his father in his life. Man, it's one of the greatest feelings. Also, honestly, to be called by world champions. I work with Alabama, number one. I'm with Ohio State this year, number two. Like, the joy of going where you celebrate it and not where you tolerate it. What a feeling it is, knowing that you're wanted, knowing that people are listening to your podcast, knowing people are, a lot of us have read the book, Take This There. Like, a lot of us have read it. Knowing that you wrote a book that people can read and their lives can be changed. Like, yo, it's the greatest feeling in the world. Not just the money, not the hotels, not the flying, whatever, not the lifestyle only. But you know how fulfilling it is to go to bed at night knowing that at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you didn't get stopped at food and water and shelter or sense of belonging or safety, that you made it to the top of the mountain, self-actualization, knowing that people listen to us and use our stuff, and we're making a difference in America, and we're keeping the stigma of America alive. Like, we are the best of what our country produces. Like, we got an education here. We watch basketball and football. we watch documentaries and we went to the museums, and like we've been in this country and we've been able to be blessed by the education that we got, the exposure to things we got. Bro, we got 50 doggone, bruh, 50 states, bruh. I've been to Australia. Australia is a beautiful place, but they don't got 50. They have the same land mass, but they don't have as many states as we have in some of the technology. So it's just a great feeling, man, to know when I lay my head down at night, there are mothers who are single parents getting through watching the videos. There are chemotherapy patients getting their treatment, listening to the stuff. There are people who failed their bar exam who are taking one more crack at it. There are fathers who are listening with their kids who are being better fathers. It's just a joy to know that. It's a great feeling to know that I got the most. I use all my toothpaste. I got the most out of my toothpaste, meaning I got the most out of life, and then that people are using me to get the most out of life. Such a rewarding feeling.
Yeah, well said. I got a story for you, similar to you sharing that with your mom in the picture, and I know that feeling's warm because my dad is from Detroit, grew up in 9 Mile, and I grew up in Phoenix, and he didn't finish high school, I didn't finish high school, had a kid in my teens. I mean, we all have our stories, but he's the biggest Barry Sanders fan ever.
Wow!
And when I got to do solar at Ford Field, and then we ended up moving to Michigan, to Birmingham. My dad was still in North Carolina. I brought him up there, and I brought Barry to our Christmas party to see my dad and Barry Sanders sit together at the table talking and eating dinner at our company event. I mean, I get chills thinking about it. That's a bucket list, and you know what I'm talking about. Like that, it's not about the money. It's not about, like that right there. I helped make that happen because my dad worked his butt off and did all these things and instilled things in me. And look, it wasn't a perfect childhood. It wasn't a perfect relationship. We all have our problems. But to see that as a son to one of our, our mother or our father, to see us be able to do that, and then it's like full circle. It's like, wow, I helped bring Barry. They're talking. That's better than anything I can ask for.
Yeah, no question.
And then to top it all off, Barry was so cool. He came to my house for my son's birthday and coached a flag football game with the kids. And I told my son, it was his 11th birthday, I said, dude, it only goes downhill from here. It doesn't get any better than this. Barry coming to the house to hang out with you guys, it doesn't get better than that. So I wanted to mention that story for you.
That's phenomenal. And congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Thank you. And so I listen, we got to meet at Ed Milet's thing, which, by the way, I never heard Ed speak in person. And I was like, wow. Yeah. And then I was excited, Andy was there and everybody was there, but I was like, dude, ET's coming. Then you showed up, right? And I was like, I had to listen to it. And you talked about the story of your wife getting sick. And I want you to mention to some of the listeners a little bit of that story and that motivation, because that was powerful. Like, that was a very powerful message and speech.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier with this whole idea of you can make excuses or you can see the opportunity. Like it is what it is. Like excuses are there if that's what you want to see. Mm-hmm. One of the things about living in America is it's not one experience. And so for those of us who have the experience we had, it wasn't given to us. We didn't win the lottery. This was an experience that we saw, and this was an experience that we sacrificed and paid the price for. We earned. Mm-hmm. And so when my wife was diagnosed with MS, I had 2 chances or 2 opportunities. I had a chance to go, woe is me, how could this happen to us? Man, she early 40s. How could this happen to us? Actually, she might have been 39 or 40. Or I could go, man, look at what has happened to us and what a blessing this could be. And so when she was diagnosed with MS, I'll never forget when we went to the hospital, she was hurt, and the doctor was like, yo, it's weird. When I told you you had MS, you didn't shed a tear. When I told you you had to quit your job, you shedded a tear. Like, what's up? You don't have insurance? And my wife was like, yeah, I got insurance. She's like, well, what's the problem? And so my wife was like, yo, this is the height of my husband's career. Like, he's taking off. And I know one day, I will have an opportunity to retire or work for my husband, but the time is not now. Like, this is bad timing. Like, he's peaking. This is terrible timing. And I'll never forget telling my wife, like, yo, this is really a time for me to do what I said I was going to do at that church in front of that pastor that married us. And that was in sickness and in health. You sick. This is a chance for me to prove what I said, that I'm going to take it to the life. This is a chance to prove to your mom. This is a chance to prove to your father that I am who they don't think I am. And one of the ways to show who you are as an underdog is during a crisis. Y'all got to understand that. You all want the sun to always shine. It will burn the flowers and the grass, doggone it. You need rain. You need the sun to come off for the stuff, a little darkness just to bring a cool to the. And so never let a good crisis go to waste. And so I said to my wife, man, we're going to take advantage of this MS. She said, how? I said, we got 8 built-in dates. You got to get an MRI twice a year. You got to go get an eye exam twice a year. You know what I'm saying? A colostrum, you got to go get that done. Like, it was a bunch of stuff she had to get done. See your physician, your neurologist. Like, it was a bunch of stuff. And I said, after each one, we going to lunch. We going for a walk. We going for ice cream. You know, look at this, sweetheart. You've missed our kids 80% of all their stuff because of work. Now you're going to get to go to every basketball game, every football game, every parent-teacher conference, every award day. Like, yo, let's see the beauty in this. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe in all my heart, this is not unto death. You will not be crippled. We're going to think positive. We're going to talk positive. We're going to get on the other side. I must be honest, that first maybe 6 months, shot left arm. Shot Tuesday, right arm. Shot Wednesday, left leg. Shot Thursday, right leg. Shot Friday, stomach. And we started, and I used to watch her, and it was painful to watch. She started wearing long clothes because you could see the scars, you know, but I kept telling her, like, yo, boo, we underdogs. We from Detroit. We underdogs. We hard hats. We still toe boots. Like, we gonna make it through this. This kind of stuff happens to us because we can handle it, because we don't have an entitled spirit, because we've learned in Detroit, you got to earn every building. You got Ford, GM, Chrysler, you got to earn it. And so I can honestly say a few months, 6 months into it, we found an oral application that she was able to do, and she no longer had to, so she was able to, you know, get rid of the blemishes and start dressing the way she wanted to dress again. But it was a phenomenal time. I watched my daughter watch, as you said. Now, when my kids were born, you know, we were getting closer to, you know, what it should look like. We got married at 19. I wouldn't want my kids to be there when we was 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want my kids to be there at 19 years old. You feel me? But now, you know, they are seeing the best, and my daughter is seeing what it looks like to take care of somebody when it's not necessarily always beneficial. Right. You know, my daughter got a chance to see her daddy take care of mama when she was sick. My son got to see what real manhood looks like, and not just macho, you know, egotistical, you know, alpha male, I'm strong, or whatever. He got to see me cry when my wife, you know, had to go in surgery, and they said to us, you know, we don't know, we put her under, and we got to sign this form. It means that when we give her this medication, it's a possibility that she's not going to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And so my son saw his dad vulnerable, you know, but also strong in serving, you know. And so, man, it was a phenomenal experience. And there's a bliss that we have that people say, man, we wish we could have that bliss. No, you don't, because you don't want to go through that hell. You only want it to be good. You only want everything to go well. And there's a level of happiness that comes from hell that doesn't come from when everything is great. When you're an underdog and you get to the top, man, it's a little sweeter because you knew you weren't supposed to be there. You knew you weren't supposed to have it. You knew they counted you out. And so I'm sure it's sweet to win the Super Bowl when you rank number one draft pick, I'm sure. But when you Tom Brady and you were picked last and nobody gave you a shot and you only came in because the great quarterback that Bledsoe was, you only got a shot because he got hurt. Yeah. You feel different when you win. You feel different, and that's what I love about Tom Brady. And I think that's why he keeps winning, not because he's the most talented or gifted, but because he was an underdog and he still has that same mentality,
He has that
he still
fire.
proving people wrong.
He has that fire.
He still want to prove people wrong after 7 Super Bowls.
I know. And, when he went to Tampa Bay, it's the fire. I mean, I was like, I hope, because I'm a Tom Brady nut, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, Belichick this, Belichick that. And I'm like, I don't know. Tom Brady is the reason. Like, he gets that team going. He goes to Tampa, wins the first year. You can't write a better story. You can't write a better story.
Other than Stafford leaving the Lions, going to the Rams and winning the first year.
Yeah, that's a good. But the Rams were a good team, and Stafford's a great quarterback.
And he was. But that was great to see him after all these years, people complaining that it was Stafford, to see him get to the Rams and take advantage of the opportunity, because there was no guarantee that he was going to win.
No,
but like you said, it was a match made in heaven. And again, an underdog, being from Detroit, we haven't won since '57, haven't won a playoff game. So for him to do that, man, to me was another, like, wow. You couldn't have written a better script for him and his family.
Most Lions fans were pulling for him, for sure.
Yeah, no question.
He's just a good dude, good family. Yeah. Obviously, that. I don't have to say that. It's hard to find good people that leave cities that still love the city they were at.
Absolutely.
Right? I think I heard a rumor he wanted to come back and finish his career in Detroit or something.
I love it.
But wouldn't that be great? Yeah. So, E, talk a little bit as we're wrapping up here about, what you've got going on. What's in ET's life coming out here shortly? There it is right there. Talk about that.
Let me tell you something, man. I am so, each milestone, each accomplishment, it has a different meaning. And somebody at the bank was like, E, I heard you coming out with a book. I said, let me say this to you. We've written 3 books. So it's not that we've never done a book, but we self-published. I think for me, having a publishing company celebrate me was another milestone. Like somebody to actually say, we'll write you a check to tell your story. Bruh, unbelievable. That's not something. Bruh, I've got a GED. You going to write me a check?
I know.
But awesome. Being a Detroit native I am, I was like, do me a favor, hold that check. I need a greater percentage. I believe in me. Go ahead and hold that check. I want a greater percentage because my grandkids are going to eat off of this book, and my great-grandkids. Like, I make good money speaking. My kids, have learned the art of leveraging our family legacy. I was like, this is probably going to be for the grandkids. I want to be like Kellogg. I'm from Detroit, y'all. Kellogg died a long time ago, and Kellogg, they still giving money to people. They got billions, Yeah. And so I want that to be the legacy. But to actually be rejected by so many teachers and so many people, and to have a publishing company say, we want to take you on, we want to draft you, and we're going to use our machine, it's going to be different to see the book at the airport. It's going to be different.
You're right. I wrote my book and self-published it, and it's not the same. You're paying to put it out there. So when someone wants you and invests in you and believes in you, it's a better feeling for sure. Like
and it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with self-publishing.
Nothing wrong with it. But it's when someone wants you, it's like, wow. And usually that takes your second or third or fourth or fifth book. Like you almost got to earn that to where somebody says, I'll pay for all that. Let me get a piece of that. And then you obviously negotiated, well, I want a piece of it too. And so that's an honor. It's like winning the Heisman Trophy, right? Like it's cool to say, hey, you're the best player on the team. But when you win the trophy, they're giving you the votes. It's like they're interested. And I think that's so cool because, and the book's already out now?
Yeah, book is out. September 13th, the book is out. If you're listening, please go support. And listen to me. Honestly, I'm not making this up. I told you we took 20 kids to the Super Bowl last year. Cost me $200,000 to do it. I paid for everything, hotel. I put them in San Diego, and I got them a party bus to go back and forth. I wanted them to see San Diego. They were so close. I wanted them to see the palm trees. I like L.A., but L.A. is still – it's not San Diego.
It's not. Right? San Diego's really nice.
Yeah. If you're in movies and all that, L.A. But for the visuals, Sunset Cliff Beach is different. You feel like you're in Hawaii, and so this book and the proceeds will go. Those same kids that I took to the Super Bowl, after Thanksgiving, I got to be there for the Lions game. All right, it's a tradition. We're
We
taking
got
a
to get
group-
together. I'm going to have a suite. We should connect.
Okay,
I have
yeah, let's
seats.
connect.
I
I'll
have
be
the
there.
MGM seats on the
Yeah.
field, some field
Okay.
and then I'll have a suite for Thanksgiving. We got to connect.
Yeah, let's connect. Because I don't have the suite. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't
but
have the
I got
suite.
you. You come on into the
I got
suite.
you. I don't have the suite, so
Dude,
I
bring
want
the
to be
family.
there. Yeah. I got to be there. But the proceeds will go. Again, that same group is going into Dubai with me after Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so, man, the proceeds are going to go to a large part to help these kids. Now, the cool thing was, and this is what happens, man, when y'all work hard. So last year I did it all on my own. This year, the NFL that I worked for the Super Bowl experience. They called me and said, look, we got 50 tickets for the Super Bowl experience, right? Which is a great start, which is telling me that I'm taking 50 kids this year. So if you're going to give me 50 tickets, I just feel like the universe is telling me, God is saying, hey, I need you to do 50 this year. And so I got Jalen Ramsey when I was there. Jalen was like, I got your back, bro. We're going to help you. And then I've got other people who are like, we're going to support you. And so the book, of course, but the book is going to help so many kids get through college. You know, I got to be honest. I'm a little jealous of Bill Gates, you know, who's not from Detroit, who's not from where I'm from, Chicago, but created the Millennial Scholarship that allows kids from places that he's never been to and that he probably will never go to an opportunity to make their dreams become a reality. So I'm competitive. So I'm competing with, and I think it's a great competition, but I'm competing with Bill Gates to get to his level one day and to be able to help as many kids as he helps. The book is going to be the first project that's going to put me in a position to do that. So just know by buying a book, you're helping a group of kids go to the Super Bowl and hopefully one day see the Lions win. So these kids will be there when the Lions win the Super Bowl.
Because it might come this year because they're looking good.
Yeah. And I hope so because we're going to be in Phoenix. You know, of course, my guy is CP3. CP said they're going to be there. Devin Booker is my guy. They said, look,
I love Devin Booker.
Yeah,
Devin's love Devin.
Pure Michigan. Pure
Good kid.
Michigan. So I'm banking on it being in Phoenix and those guys being there so that they can get these kids a phenomenal experience. But, man, thank you so much, man, for, like I said, podcast is good, but I know God brought you into my life for something much bigger than a podcast. So I can't wait to be at the game with you.
Yeah.
And
do you go to all the games or just Thanksgiving?
No, I'll go. Tulloch, Stephen Tulloch. We're going to the first one together.
Steven. Steven knows me. Tully knows me.
Yeah. So Tully and I are going to the first one together.
Okay.
So I definitely.
So you'll be there opening day.
Yeah, for the Phillies.
Okay, we should. I'll holler at Tully too. At least say hi.
Okay.
Come over and say hi.
All right, yeah. So let's connect. So I'll be at the first one, and then of course the Thanksgiving, and then it just depends on my schedule and their schedule. But I'm working for a couple NFL teams, so I'll be going to those games to not just root for, but work with the coaching staff and the players. But man, it'll be great to also have at least make a good run. We've not even really made a deep run in the playoffs, so if we can at least make a deep run in the playoffs, that would be neat.
I agree, and listen, E, I appreciate everything that you do, man, because it's I think we have similar personalities. You owe you. Make sure everybody go and get that book. You're helping E out. You're helping those kids get out there to go to the Super Bowl. And you can follow E. What's your handle on Instagram?
So you got ericthomas.com,
Yep.
etinspires.com. So if you're looking to be inspired, etinspires.com. You just want to help Eric Thomas, ericthomas.com.
Eric Thomas. Well, listen, E.T., I appreciate it. You have inspired me to do part of what I do, man, and that's a fact. Like, I got the gift of gab. I'm similar passion, different stories, but trust me, like when I'm tough and falling apart and things are hard, man, you're the one I listen to, and I ain't making that up because you're on the show.
Man,
my
I
wife,
love it.
my kids, everybody knows that. They're like, that's my dude. So super
Hey,
excited
so are you
about
in
this.
Phoenix still?
So I live in North Carolina now.
Okay.
I live in Davidson, and then I go back and forth to Michigan. But I grew up in Phoenix.
So you just drove to Ed's event. You were right there.
I drove, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I only asked. I go to Phoenix, to support CP3 and the guys.
I go to
So
Michigan a lot, though. Like, I'm up there
Okay,
next
so
week.
yeah, let me know. Let me know when you're there, man. But thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you to all your supporters that listened and bought the book. Man, thank you guys tremendously.
Thank you, E.T. That's a wrap on The Underdog. Bam! That concludes another episode here on True Underdog. If you're interested in hearing more, make sure you subscribe at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the YouTube channel. You can always visit trueunderdog.com, subscribe to all of them. Make sure you check out our newest episodes coming out on Mondays and Thursdays. True Underdog, baby. Bam!